All right, everybody, how's it going? We have some breaking news from the world of college football, a little different than what we usually cover here, but it is Tuesday, August 11th, 2020, and let's look at the news. Basically, if you've been on Twitter, you pretty much know this. This is about an hour or so old for some of this, but the Big Ten and now, of course, the Pac-12 have voted to cancel their 2020 fall seasons, and they are going to go ahead and do a what's it called here? Try to do something in the spring potentially, much like the MAC and I think the Mountain West, which have already canceled their season. So it will look at playing in the spring. So it sounds like we're not going to be seeing certain teams play, and that's two. What is that? Two now of the Power Five conferences. We're still looking at the Big 12, the SEC, and the ACC, I believe, that are still involved in playing. So we'll see what those conferences choose to do going forward. But like with two of these down now, I think somebody posted something like there's going to be something like less than 500 games. I think I seen in college football that can be played. So Brett McMurphy. He was a guy I seen on my last video that we posted about it potentially being canceled. My source from 3 days ago unfortunately appears dead on. So just kind of, this is a guy to follow, by the way. He seems to have it figured out. See, so basically, yeah, it sounds like the Big Ten and the Pac-12 are the first of the five. The first two of the five power conferences to decide not to have a season. And a lot of people are speculating on why they've decided to do it. Of course, it has to do with the COVID and everything. And it also has to do, I think, with more with like liability, lawsuits, all these potential damages that they could take far outweigh the money that they could make. You know, it's like there's so much shit that they have to deal with in order to have a successful football season. So many students on campus, just so many things. It just seems smarter to not have a season for college football. With pro sports, it's a little different. These are grown men. They're choosing to play. They're getting paid. They can kind of self-quarantine themselves. They don't have to be around other people as often. So there's a difference between college sports and I think professional sports. A lot of it has to do with the players being paid, what happens if somebody gets sick, and it's just there's a whole bunch of questions that I don't think college football really wants to dig for answers, which is totally fine. And I expect this to happen. I expect like the ACC and the Big 12 to eventually follow suit. But you never know. Those are kind of weird conferences. I don't think the SEC is going to cancel anything. They'll just play each other if they have to. Oh, well. So that's interesting. We have the Big 12, the Big 10 and the SEC, or the Big 10 and the Pac-12 now canceling their seasons. Pac-12, unlike professional sports, college sports cannot operate in a bubble. Our athletic programs are part of a broader campus and communities where in many cases the prevalence of COVID-19 is significant. That's basically what I was trying to say. It's impossible to do a bubble with college athletes. It just doesn't seem doable. Based on the fact that they are student athletes at the end of the day. They're supposed to be there for an education. The athletics are supposed to be secondary. So it's nice that someone's at least acknowledging that fact. Let's see. There are now 41 of 130 FBS programs that will not play in the fall. So as time progressed, it became abundantly clear that there was too much uncertainty regarding potential medical risks to allow our student athletes to compete this fall. So liability concerns. How do you keep it safe? How do you put there's just so many things that they couldn't figure out, and so it's not really. It makes total sense. So a bunch of it'll be interesting to see it. This could be the SEC. Interesting. They can play each other. Bring in a couple more schools. I don't know what they're going to do. We'll see. Who do you think else cancels postpones their season rather to the spring potentially? Do you think the Big 12 will? Do you think the ACC and SEC will? I doubt the SEC, but I figured the Big 10 and the Pac-12 were going to move first on this of the Power Fives. So who's next to follow? Let me know down below. What do you think of this down below? Sorry, there's going to be no college football. That's rather unfortunate. And, I don't like college football, but at the end of the day, I know it's a lot of people enjoy it, and that kind of sucks. I'm sorry about your sport being canceled. Hopefully they can do something in the spring to make up for it. The NFL is good. Just give it a try if you don't like the NFL. I'm sorry, college football fans. Stinks. But anyway, if you liked the video, which you probably didn't, leave a like. Consider subscribing if you're new around here. Leave your thoughts down below. I'll be sure to get back to you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry to hear, college football fans.